You got a little thing that just happened where you got one of your chains got stolen. It wasn't stolen off of you.
No, man.
It was in a vehicle, and it got stolen out of the vehicle, correct?
The whole vehicle got stolen.
Oh, with the jewelry inside of it.
Stunna 4, Vegas and DaBaby were on a wild streak together, straight up shaking the whole rap scene. But today, we're digging into how it all crumbled and why rumors say Stunna allegedly pulled a gun on one of DaBaby's own artists. It's a crazy story, and it all started in Salisbury, North Carolina, where Stunna came up without many doors open for him to make it out. Growing up, his dad wasn't really in the picture, and Stunna tried his shot at making it through sports. He played basketball and football hard. His cousin, Javon Hargrave, made it big as a defensive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings, but Stunna had his own vision. He wasn't about to go broke or follow someone else's path, so he switched up the game plan and jumped in the booth instead. Once he started dropping tracks, Stunna was hustling all over North Carolina, hitting up small clubs and getting his name out there. Those early days were rough, though. He was only making around $300 a show, sometimes a band or two if he was lucky. But even then, his pockets were still light and fame felt far away. Still, the local buzz started picking up. People in the Carolinas could tell something was coming. One day, a local DJ posted about him, and that one post changed everything. That's how Stunna got connected with DaBaby, who was already grinding hard in the industry. DaBaby had dropped his first mixtape back in 2015, and by 2018, his name was already moving heavy in the streets. He wasn't a superstar yet, but compared to Stunna, DaBaby was definitely a few steps ahead. After that, DJ's post caught DaBaby's attention, he hit like on it, and soon enough, the two linked up and instantly vibed. They clicked from the start. DaBaby saw potential in Stunna right away.
So Stunna comes around the corner and he cocks and points it at me and tell me to get the back and told her, like, I told you not to go with that girl without me.
Even though the world hadn't caught on yet, he knew this kid could shine big if given the right push. Right after DaBaby and Stunna linked up for the first time, they wasted no time, straight to the studio. That's where they cooked up their track, Animal. And man, that joint went crazy. The numbers shot up fast, putting Stunna right on the map. DaBaby wasn't just watching from the sidelines either. He kept that momentum alive, pulling Stunna into every move he made. They were constantly in the booth together, feeding off each other's energy like brothers in grind mode. Soon, DaBaby started bringing Stunna out to shows, and the crowd reactions were wild. Within just a few months, Stunna's whole life flipped. He went from making a few $100 a show to stacking thousands every time he hit the stage. DaBaby was really putting his boy on, pushing him hard to the front of the rap game spotlight. When DaBaby dropped his Blank Blank mixtape in 2018, he made sure Stunna was the only feature. Now that's real loyalty. That project hit hard and caught the attention of some serious players in the industry. Jay-Z's Rock Nation even handled the distribution, which was a massive win for DaBaby and gave their whole movement more shine. Then, in 2019, things went from hot to legendary. DaBaby locked in a major 7-figure deal with Interscope, and instead of just celebrating for himself, he made sure Stunna got a piece of the pie too. Since Stunna was already signed to DaBaby's own label, $1 Billion Baby Entertainment, the move made perfect sense.
I asked to, feel me, to go like separate ways. I'm like, man, I'm trying to go do some shit I got on the table, and I can add you in on it, or we could just, I probably after talking a few times, we just, you feel me, it wasn't nothing more, nothing less than, all right, bet, and go do whatever you're trying to do.
With DaBaby's help, Stunna also secured a deal with a major label, turning his rising fame into real money. After just a few months of rocking with DaBaby, Stunna was already getting rich and moving like a boss. Stunna told DJ Vlad that before DaBaby even signed him, he had already stacked up almost $200,000 just from features and shows. He was getting it out the mud. Then when Stunna and DaBaby dropped Ashley, DaBaby flexed on the track with the line, "I got my young to rich in 6 months. Play with me. Get your S-bust." That moment stamped their partnership. The world saw they were unstoppable. Soon after, Stunna dropped his first record under Interscope, and the buzz was insane. But right when things were looking perfect, the headlines flipped on him. Out of nowhere, rumors started flying that someone had snatched Stunna's chains right off his neck. Photos of his chains started popping up on Instagram, and people online were saying, Stunna got caught slipping. The internet went wild over it. Stunna wasn't having it though. He jumped online fast and called the whole story capped. According to him, he was in Atlanta for a show and left his chains in his car. Then the car itself got stolen. In an interview with the Only Way Out podcast, Stunna explained that he never even saw who took it. It was just gone when he came back. What shocked fans even more was his reaction. Stunna said he wasn't going to pay a dime to get those chains back. He kept it cool, saying he wasn't tripping because he could always cop more jewelry whenever he wanted. Still, after all the chaos, his career started losing a bit of steam. 2019 had been massive for him. He just signed his big deal, dropped his first record, and even linked up with major names like Offset. But it seemed like that wild momentum was starting to slow down. Stunna was still moving heavy in the game, linking up with names like Lil Durk and Lil Yachty, while he and DaBaby kept flooding the streets with collabs that ran up massive numbers every time they touched the mic. Their chemistry was unmatched, and it felt like they couldn't miss.
In the atmosphere that I'm in right now, like, y'all don't see me dropping music every weekend, every week, and whoop. It's because I don't care. For real, like, I'm dead ass serious. I don't care to be a rapper, bro. I'm not finna get up here and shake my ass. I'm not finna get up here and beef with everybody.
Then 2020 kicked off in full force. In January, Stunna dropped his second album, which hit number 29 on the Billboard 200. That was a major look for him. And just a month later, he caught the biggest wave of his career when he hopped on Go Stupid with Polo G and NLE Choppa. The track blew up everywhere. Fans were bumping it nonstop. But as hot as things were sounding, the energy around Stunna was starting to shift. Critics weren't showing him the same love they had back in 2018 and 2019, and even some fans started fading away. He was still doing features with big artists and getting paid, but when he dropped another album in November 2020, the numbers didn't hit like before. The project didn't even chart, and that hurt his momentum. By 2021, it looked like Stunna had hit the brakes completely. No new drops, no real buzz. Meanwhile, DaBaby ran into his own storm after his wild Rolling Loud moment that caused him to lose a lot of connections in the industry. It was like both their careers were cooling off at the same time. Then, in 2022, Stunna made his return with his fourth project, trying to get that spark back.
I tell that nigga right now, like, you know, I'm happy for him, because whatever you're doing now, that's what you want to be doing. That's what you'd rather be doing. I'm that type of nigga.
But what nobody knew then was that it would end up being his last release under DaBaby's label. Behind the scenes, drama was quietly building. After DaBaby brought Stunna onto $1 Billion Baby Entertainment, he also signed a new female artist named K Kilo. DaBaby and K Kilo started dropping songs together, and she was gaining serious buzz fast. Things were about to get real tense in that camp. Things started getting real messy when DaBaby's drama with his baby mama, Danny Lee, blew up online. The chaos totally took the spotlight away from K Kilo and her mixtape drop, leaving her project in the shadows. But that wasn't the only tension bubbling inside $1 Billion Baby Entertainment. Word around the camp was that Kai Kilo and Stunna's issues got way deeper, and allegedly, it ended with Stunna pulling a gun on her. Nobody really knows how it all kicked off, but Kai Kilo claimed it started when she smashed Stunna's girl's phone, which led to the girl screaming for help. That's when things reportedly escalated. Kai Kilo said Stunna walked up and pointed a gun right at her face. The story blew up fast online, and fans were split about what really went down. Kai Kilo didn't hold back either. She started calling Stunna out for running away from his beef in North Carolina and hiding out in Houston. Then, according to rumors, she even smashed his phone too, making the drama even wilder. But Stunna wasn't letting that narrative slide. He hopped on Instagram Live and called the whole story capped. He said he'd never put his hands or a weapon on a woman and claimed Kai Kilo was just clout chasing after leaving DaBaby's label. Stunna said she was only stirring things up because, in his words, she didn't have any motion in the rap game anymore. Some fans actually believe Kai Kilo might have been telling the truth about Stunna laying low from his ops back in North Carolina.
That's something you supposed to do on the front end. You know what I'm saying? That's something you're supposed to do on the front end.
He made it public.
Yeah. I mean, what made what public? The fact that
Like that, he wasn't what you know.
Yeah. He ain't supposed to let niggas play like that.
After all, his whole image came straight from the block. He's always repped Carolina heavy and talked tough on his tracks. On songs like Animal, he raps about sliding on enemies and even says, he playing both sides, they get him knocked off. He won't even be able to pick a side. We beat down your block, they like get inside, 223s, and my ninny ass slide. That kind of energy made fans wonder if real street problems were following him for real. Word is, Stunna's allegedly tied in with a set known as YRB, and one of his close homies, Sin, from that same crew, reportedly got locked up for catching a body. Stunna even showed love by posting him on Instagram, standing by his people. That move had folks talking, wondering just how deep Stunna's ties really ran in the streets. Then in 2021, things got even crazier when his name hit the headlines again. This time after reports came out that some shooters pulled up to one of his shows. Rumors were flying everywhere, with people claiming someone tried to shoot up the event to take him out.
I appreciate Baby for sure, anything he did, but like him putting me in every place or stage or platform that he put me in, I just stood on business. Like I did whatever I had to do for them folks to call back, or for anybody to reach out that wanted to ever do business with me, and you feel me, like.
But later, it came out that the actual shooting happened at an after party, not the main show. And no one really knows if Stunna was still in the area when it all went down. K Kilo added more fuel to the fire too. She claimed Stunna was living in Houston because he couldn't safely go back to North Carolina. Whether that's true or not, one thing's for sure. The streets were definitely talking, and Stunna's name was always in the middle of some kind of drama. Stunna later cleared the air in an interview with Vlad TV, saying he didn't move to Houston because he was ducking smoke. He moved there because he fell in love with his girl. He met a female rapper named Monaleo at a studio in Houston, and from the moment they connected, sparks flew. Their vibe was real, and Stunna said right away he knew he wanted to stay in the city with her. That's when his whole lifestyle started to shift. Before packing up for Houston, Stunna admitted he had been struggling heavy with pills and lean. Life in the spotlight was taking a toll. But once he touched down in Texas, everything changed. He started hitting the gym, staying active, and even found a new passion outside of rap. One day while hooping, Stunna ran into a local AAU basketball squad during their practice. And next thing you know, he became their manager. He started looking out for the team, buying them shoes, jerseys, and even covering their tournament costs. It showed a whole new side of him, a side focused on growth and giving back instead of chaos. By 2023, though, Stunna felt like the rap game wasn't bringing him peace anymore. He told DaBaby straight up that he wanted out and asked to be released from $1 Billion Baby Entertainment.
So do you think you signed a bad deal?
I got out of it. I just got there. Like I said, I should have known certain that I didn't really know. That
Right.
my new lawyer told me, like, once he got down to the nitty gritty, he like let me know,
Right.
like damn.
When the news dropped that Stunna was no longer signed to DaBaby's label, the internet went wild with speculation. Rumors started flying left and right. Some folks claimed DaBaby had dropped him completely, while others said the two had fallen out and were secretly beefing behind the scenes. It was chaos online, and nobody really knew what the truth was. During an Instagram Live, Stunna finally spoke up to set things straight. He made it clear he didn't get dropped, but he didn't spill all the details either. Instead, he told fans straight up that he wasn't focused on being a rapper, dancing for attention, or getting caught up in petty beefs with other artists. He sounded like a man ready to move differently. Some people thought he was sneak dissing DaBaby with those comments, but later, Stunna cleared that up too. He said there was no bad blood, they had just grown apart. No beef, just two artists heading in different directions. Then, in 2024, DaBaby spoke on the situation himself and revealed that Stunna had actually reached out to him. DaBaby said he still wanted to see Stunna win and even gave him props for carving his own lane. But he also admitted he felt a little salty about how people online were twisting the story. He wasn't cool with the way folks were talking crazy about what really happened between them. It definitely looked like DaBaby was a little pressed about how Stunna handled everything with the fans, but Stunna never switched up. He kept showing love and giving DaBaby credit for helping launch his career. He always made it clear that DaBaby played a huge part in putting him on the map. Still, it's obvious there was a lot more going on behind closed doors while they were working together. During another interview, when someone asked Stunna if he'd signed a bad deal early on, his answer got people talking. Stunna admitted that once he got his own lawyer, he managed to get out of that contract. He didn't flat out say DaBaby was the one behind the bad deal, but the message was loud and clear. He wasn't happy with how the money was moving. DaBaby may have been the one who gave Stunna the spotlight and helped him break into the industry, but it sounds like the business side wasn't as smooth as everyone thought. Behind all the hit records and flashy moments, there were real issues simmering: money, contracts, and control. And those quiet tensions might have been what really pushed Stunna to walk away for good. A lot of fans thought Stunna was done with rap for good. But in 2024, he surprised everyone by signing with a smaller label called STB Entertainment and dropping a new album. Even though the comeback was a solid move, it was clear his run in the rap game had slowed down heavy. He went from pulling in millions of streams with every release to barely cracking 100,000. His buzz just wasn't the same anymore. But it seems like Stunna wasn't too pressed about chasing the charts this time around. His focus had shifted. Back in 2023, he and Mona Leo welcomed their first child together. And a couple years later, they tied the knot. Now they're talking about growing their family and keeping their priorities solid at home. Stunna's energy these days is all about family, balance, and finding peace outside the spotlight. On top of that, he's putting more time into managing basketball players, something he's grown really passionate about. He's even talked about going to college to level up his skills and become better at his job. It's a big switch from his old rap lifestyle, but it's clear he's thinking long-term now. Even though the money isn't hitting like it did when he was under DaBaby's label, Stunna's been smart about his finances since day one. While other rappers were blowing bags on flashy cars and designer everything, Stunna kept it real. He copped himself a $25,000 Jeep instead of wasting his cash on exotic whips. He played it cool, proving he's not just street smart, but money smart too. Fans had been hoping for years that DaBaby and Stunna would patch things up and jump back in the booth together, but nobody knew if that reunion would ever really happen. Then, in October 2025, Stunna and his wife Mona Leo sat down on The Breakfast Club and finally gave fans an update. During the interview, Stunna revealed that he personally reached out to DaBaby, not for clout, not for favors, but to take full accountability for how things fell apart between them. That move showed real growth. According to Stunna, they chopped it up like men and cleared the air. It looks like all that tension between them is finally gone for good. Still, he admitted that even though the beef is squashed, they'll probably never go on another wild run together like they did back in 2019. That era was one of a kind. But whether they ever make music together again or not, one thing's for sure. Stunna for Vegas came a long way from small North Carolina clubs to national fame, and his story's still far from over. If you rocked with this breakdown, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Let's keep the conversation going.